Hello and welcome to the CIA news station reporting to you about the tragedy involving a terrorist attack to the Twin Towers. 9/11 marked a turning point in American history because of the immediate diplomatic actions that had a long-term effect, a newfound prejudice toward minorities, and a stronger domestic security policies.
It does not appear that there's any kind of an effort up there yet. Now remember, oh my God.
That looks like a second plane.
I didn't see a plane go in. That just exploded.
I just saw another plane coming in from the side.
You did. That was out of
Yes, and that's the second explosion. You can see the plane come in just from the right-hand side of the screen. So this looks like it is some sort of a concerted
arriving at the scene. Jim Friedel in Hoboken said it appeared to bank sharply and smash directly, perhaps purposefully, into, oh my goodness,
oh God,
there's another one. Oh my goodness, there's another one.
It seems to be on purpose.
Oh my goodness, now it's obvious.
Here with us today is Alex Morgan, a researcher on the prejudice of today's Muslim Americans.
Hello, thanks for having me.
What do you have to share with us today?
I will be talking about how the attack affected the people of Muslim religion in America.
What is the difference between Muslims living in America before 9/11 and after?
When people see someone of Muslim descent, they automatically assume they had direct relations with the terrorists on 9/11.
Oh, man, we don't serve Muslims here.
I'm sorry?
This is America. We're at war with your people.
I don't know what you think I am. I'm trying to get an apple.
Well, you're a terrorist, is what you are. So.
Excuse me?
Why do they think that?
Because the hijackers that crashed the plane into the Twin Towers in the Pentagon were of Muslim descent.
That does not mean all Muslims are terrorists.
When a tragedy happens, the common people look at who attacked and blame everyone that somehow related to them, even if it's simply their religion or race.
So they're trying to get revenge.
Yes. In fact, in the U.S., after 9/11 occurred, there have been nearly 2,000 Muslim hate crimes committed.
What type of hate crimes?
Well, people have burned down their mosques. It's harder for them to find jobs because employers don't want to lose business because of who they employ. And when they find jobs, they come face to face with discrimination.
Are Muslims the only ones affected by this discrimination?
No. All minorities have been affected in some way or another because they're not fit into normal views of society.
Well, that's terrible.
Did you know that the minorities are 42 times more likely to be stopped by security in airports than a Caucasian person?
I actually did know that. I've been researching the effects on national security post 9/11.
Have you found any interesting facts?
I have found that most of the changes have been in airports and airlines.
How so?
Well, after 9/11, bulletproof and locked cockpits were installed to airplanes to ensure safety of the pilots. They also have the option to carry a gun on the plane.
What happens if someone were to bring a weapon onto the plane?
They would not be able to get onto the plane with the new security before boarding the plane.
What new security?
Passengers are patted down and checked with a hand metal detector by trained personnel before boarding the plane.
But on 9/11, the hijackers set off metal detectors and they were still allowed to board the plane.
You're right. The screener could not find what set the metal detector off. This is why they have people doing the scans, and you even have to take your shoes off to be inspected.
Your shoes?
Not just that, you have to take off all jewelry, glasses, hats, jackets, scarves, and sometimes they even check your hair.
What could possibly be in your hair?
I don't know, but they check it. Also, if you're 18 years or older, you must have valid verification issued by the government.
Wait, on 9/11, didn't the hijackers lack proper identification and were still allowed to board the plane?
Yes, this is why the new rule was made.
What other changes have been applied to life?
Well, things like people going to concerts or sporting events often have bag checks and sometimes even have to go through metal detectors.
That's happened to me before. Anything else?
Buildings must be far enough away from the street to guard against car bombs, and banking industry is asked to keep an eye out for any suspicious financial activity linked to possible terrorism.
So you mean the government has the authority to go through personal bank accounts?
Yes, in fact, that leads me to the Patriot Act.
What's the Patriot Act?
The Patriot Act is the purpose of the Patriot Act is to deter and punish terrorist acts and to enhance law enforcement. Federal government has the right to look through all your personal information at any time.
They can look at anything?
Yes, for example, they can go through past emails you've sent and received, medical records, phone records, and even your library accounts.
They sure go through a lot of trouble to protect from any future attacks.
More than 263 government organizations have been created or reorganized after 9/11.
Wow, that's a lot.
Also, more than 1,200 government organizations and 1,900 private companies do work related to counterterrorism and homeland security.
So today we learned that the U.S. government is taking the importance of American protection to a new level to try to prevent any terrorist attack like the one on 9/11.
Well, that's it for today. Give Alex a hand for coming out today, and we'll see you tomorrow when we talk to my friend Anna about the diplomatic actions of the same topic of 9/11. Hello and welcome back to the CAA news station. Here today we have Anna Grunder talking about the diplomatic policies on the topic of 9/11. And welcome, Anna!
Thank you for having me today.
Anytime.
Today I'm talking about the immediate diplomatic actions following the 9/11 and the impact they left on today. The first major action was the decision to enter into the war, or called the War on Terror. Based upon the 9/11 Commission report, this event might have been inevitable. The previous bombings and attacks by Al-Qaeda and bin Laden were taking place since 1998. Both presidencies, Clinton and Bush, were waiting for a conclusion before deciding whether or not to take military action. Signs were unclear on the attack and where it would be. Based on attacks on the U.S. embassies in 1998 in Kenya and Tanzania, none of these actions taken by the U.S. pre-9/11 even delayed the plot. After 9/11, the strategy proposed had 3 points: attack terrorists and their organizations, prevent the continued growth of Islamist terrorism, and protect against and prepare for terrorist attacks. The new goal was to defeat all terrorism in the world, an allusion to Cold War times, a goal to be as strong as they were combating during Cold War. But other Americans had views like Zbigniew Brzezinski for the Washington Post. He believes, like others, that this was a war on emotions and that it made the U.S. look weak, acting on fear, and we are not strong as we once were during Pearl Harbor and Cold War. And that is what was a waste on time and lives, and which has also led to discrimination and wasted security money. But the Commission report defends that this is for the safety of Americans. As it states, unity of purpose and unity of effort are the way we will defeat this enemy. And with that, back to you, Claire.
I want you all to know that America today is on bended knee in prayer for the people whose lives were lost here, for the workers who work here, for the families who mourn. This nation stands with the good people of New York City and New Jersey and Connecticut as we mourn the loss of thousands of our citizens. I can hear you. I can hear you. The rest of the world hears you. And the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon. work. Thank you for making the nation proud. And may God bless America.
Thank you for coming today, Anna. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Between yesterday and today's segments, we learned that 9/11 marked a turning point in American history because of the immediate diplomatic actions that had a long-term effect, a newfound prejudice towards minorities, and stronger domestic security policies. Thank you for joining us, and see us next time on CAA News.